Welcome to Breaking News to Trading Moves. We're focusing today on a piece of corporate news that's been anticipated for a while and what it means for companies across software, security, and enterprise services. We've gone through the materials on ServiceNow's latest action. Our job here is to really analyze this through the lens of market consolidation. So, who stands to gain budget share and which vendors might start feeling the pressure?
Right. This action, it's more than just a big price tag. It speaks directly to how businesses are, shifting their priorities. The whole theme is this push toward integrated security, especially as AI adoption grows. We'll break down the transaction itself first and then jump straight into the companies that look like winners and losers from this.
Okay, let's start there. The facts of the deal. What did ServiceNow do and what was the headline number?
So ServiceNow, ticker NOW, announced its largest acquisition ever. They're buying the cybersecurity firm Armis. And the price is $7.75 billion. It's an all-cash deal.
7.75 billion all cash. That shows a lot of conviction. And Armis, they specialize in asset intelligence, vulnerability management, that sort of thing.
Exactly. The strategic goal for ServiceNow is pretty clear. They want to build more proactive security across what's being called AI-era infrastructure. And this isn't just about laptops and servers anymore. We're talking about cloud systems, network devices, and also operational technology, OT, and the whole Internet of Things, or IoT.
Okay, but hold on. $7.75 billion is a lot for a company that isn't a pure play security vendor. Is the market seeing this as a sign of strength, or are they just trying to plug a gap?
It's mostly seen as a necessary move, a real assertion of strength. ServiceNow's whole game is automating IT workflow. And with security becoming the #1 priority for enterprise spending, they just couldn't afford to rely on third parties anymore to connect finding a vulnerability to actually fixing it. The all-cash part is just a signal of how healthy their balance sheet is.
And what about the timeline? When does this all go through?
The deal's expected to close in the second half of 2026. That long runway is pretty typical for a transaction this size, gives them time for all the regulatory reviews, and it'll be funded with a mix of cash on hand and new debt.
So this is where the conversation gets really valuable for anyone tracking the market. The deal is a clear signal that workflow platforms and security platforms are converging. What's really driving that right now?
It's all about the speed of modern threats and just how big the enterprise attack surface has gotten. I mean, AI changes everything. It's not just adding more devices, it's adding automated agents, applications that operate without a human looking over their shoulder. The old way of doing things, finding a vulnerability, a human creates a ticket, someone else fixes it, that's just too slow now. We're talking about attacks that exploit things in milliseconds, not hours.
That makes perfect sense. The human in the middle step is the bottleneck.
It is. Boards are demanding integrated, instant security that can find, prioritize, and fix an issue, all within a single platform. That's why this Armis deal is so important for them.
Okay, let's move to the companies that are set to benefit from this, starting with the big players in platform consolidation.
The thinking here is pretty straightforward. If corporate buyers want fewer vendors and tighter integration, then the platforms that manage everything, IT and security workflows, they're going to win a bigger slice of the pie.
Yeah.
So category 1, workflow and platform consolidation. ServiceNow, ticker NOW, is the obvious one. They're the acquirer. They immediately get these asset intelligence capabilities to beef up their main offering.
But the analysis also points to peers like Microsoft and Salesforce benefiting. How does this acquisition help them?
It validates their whole platform strategy. Look at Microsoft, ticker MSFT. This move reinforces their goal of making Copilot the central operating system for a business. For that to work, all the security data has to be integrated right into that same framework. ServiceNow spending this much money proves that integration is essential.
And for Salesforce?
Similar idea, but focused on customer data. For Salesforce, ticker CRM, it's all about their data cloud. The ability to secure every device that touches that data is key. This move just validates that every major platform needs to own more of its security stack.
So it's less about direct competition and more about the platform model itself being validated. What about the existing security platform leaders? Does this move help them too?
Oh, absolutely. A big move like this reinforces platform-first buying habits across the board. It creates category 2, security platform leaders. This benefits the big players with comprehensive suites. We're talking about Palo Alto Networks, ticker PANW, CrowdStrike, ticker CRWD, and Fortinet, ticker FTNT.
Can you give me a specific example? How does this help Palo Alto Networks?
Sure. Look at Palo Alto Networks, PANW. Their entire history is built on strategic acquisitions, right?
Hmm.
They've built their platform by buying and integrating specialized tools. This ServiceNow deal basically screams to the market, this is the only way forward. It puts pressure on smaller, single-feature vendors and pushes customers toward the big providers who have already bundled everything together.
Got it. Now, what about the services side? The software is one thing, but someone has to actually do the work.
That's the key part. These integrated systems are not plug and play. This deal creates a ton of services work for multiple quarters. We're looking at new deployments, redesigning complex processes, managed security services, and automating security operations centers, or SOCs. This is Category 3, Services and Systems Integration. The companies that stand to gain here are firms like Accenture, ticker ACN, IBM, ticker IBM, and Booz Allen Hamilton, ticker BAH. They have the people and the reach to do this kind of work.
Okay, now for the other side of the equation, we've talked about where the money is flowing to. Where does the budget attention get pulled away from?
We can start with the specialized cybersecurity firms. When things like vulnerability insights are built directly into a major platform like ServiceNow, the standalone vendors, well, they face a much tougher sell. This is Category 1. Cyberpoint solutions in vulnerability and exposure management. These companies could see their sales cycles get longer and face more pricing pressure.
Why specifically them?
Well, think about Tenable, ticker TENB, Rapid7, ticker RIPD, and Qualys, ticker QLLYS. Their bread and butter is detailed vulnerability scanning and reporting. Now, ServiceNow is integrating Armis's discovery tools directly into the system that actually fixes the problem. When the discovery and the remediation are in the same workflow, the value of a separate dashboard just for reporting goes way down.
That's a clear structural pressure. Okay, next up, ServiceNow's direct competitors in the workflow space. How does this affect them?
It makes ServiceNow's platform stickier. It raises the cost and the difficulty for customers to switch away later on. It becomes much harder for other workflow vendors to get that enterprise-wide standardization they're all fighting for. So this is Category 2, ITSM and workflow competitors. The companies listed here are Atlassian, ticker TEAM, and Monday.com, ticker MNDY. They have great tools, but this move makes ServiceNow's platform more embedded at the highest security levels of a company.
The final category you flagged is a bit less intuitive. Why would a security acquisition affect vendors focused on infrastructure monitoring and observability?
It comes down to a classic budget reallocation problem. This is Category 3, infrastructure monitoring and observability vendors. When a CIO and a CISO see a deal like this, it forces them to reprioritize their spending, and fast.
So where does that money come from?
Well, when a multi-billion-dollar security deal signals that security automation is the top priority, the budget has to come from somewhere. And in the short term, that's often from non-mandatory projects, things related to future performance or optimization. That's the world of observability vendors like Datadog, ticker DOG, and Dynatrace, ticker DT. Their tools are vital, but during a big security push, fixing critical gaps often takes precedence over, say, optimizing application latency. It's a temporary headwind, but a real one.
So what does this all mean for you as you track these market developments? The core takeaway is this growing preference for integrated platforms over specialized tools, especially with the security needs that AI is creating.
That's exactly. The move by ServiceNow, ticker NOW, to buy Armis, it just highlights that enterprise spending is moving toward bundled security and automation. This is good for vendors who can offer that tight integration and pull security out of its silo. And before we wrap up, just a mandatory reminder, this discussion is based purely on analysis of available market intelligence regarding ServiceNow, NOW, Armis, Microsoft, MSFT, Salesforce, CRM, Palo Alto Networks, PANW, CrowdStrike, CRWD, Fortinet, FTNT, Accenture, ACM, IBM, Booz Allen Hamilton, BAH, Tenable, TENB, Rapid7, RPD, Qualys, QLYS Atlassian, TEAM, Monday.com, MNDY, Datadog, DDOG, and Dynatrace, DT. This is not financial advice or any kind of recommendation to buy or sell any security. It is purely the opinion of the author.
A final thought for you to consider. If vendor consolidation is happening this fast, what specialized technology segment is next? Which point solution out there right now do you think could be the next multi-billion-dollar acquisition target hiding in plain sight? Thank you for joining us for this analysis on breaking news to trading moves.